Hey, LDB here. Thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully you're able to check out other videos of mine on my channel. My goal, of course, is to inspire others in the same manner as I'm always inspired by other videos and musicians. In this video, I'm going to show you the proper and most effective way that I've learned of tuning a snare drum, yet alone any drum that you may want to tune, especially when putting on a new drum head. Of course, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and even click the bell for notifications for future videos that I may post. Also, feel free to share this with others and or comment. Let me know your thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. In this video, I'll be replacing an Evans Power Center reverse dot drum head with an Evans Level 360 EC2 frosted drum head. So I'm gonna just go ahead and remove the dampening ring and the tape, of course, that I had to muffle the sound a little bit. And I'll let you hear what it sounds like before I go ahead and change the drum heads. Now, for the sake of time, I'm just going to loosen the lugs just by going around and untightening them. And of course, there isn't any really particular way for this. I just didn't want to waste your time. All right. So I, of course, like to keep the same lugs in the same place when I replace the rim. So I'm just gonna put them down and kind of keep it in the same way so I know where to put the lugs as I put them back. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the drum head. Now I typically use a 2-ply drum head, especially for my snare drums, more than like a single ply. I like 2-ply also for my toms, bass drum, whatever, only because you get an extra layer of sound and get more depth out of that, I feel like. So, and also if I happen to pop the first layer, if I use a single ply, my drum head is done. If I use 2-ply, at least I got another ply to go through. But besides that, I just like to use the 2-ply drum head, especially, like I said, for the sound. So there's pieces that came off inside here, so just trying to clear that out. This piece, of course, is a little stubborn, but I want to make sure I clear all those pieces out before I replace and put on a new drum head. Can get it there. All right, here we go. So again, I'll be replacing with a new EC2 Evans drum head. It's frosted. It's not clear, it's not coated, it's like in between. I kind of wanted to go a little bit different here. I always like to experiment with my drum heads and try out different sounds. So also, one thing, again, this is up to the drummer's preference, but I like to have the name of the snare drum when I'm looking at it as if it's at, if you think of a clock, 12 o'clock. So I typically like to just put the label or the name of the drum head at the very top and go ahead and then put the rim with the lugs. Again, putting the lugs back in the same place that it was in before I took the rim off. Now, before I even go ahead and start tightening with the drum key, I usually tighten the drum head with my fingers. I just want to make sure that the lugs, of course, are in the slots, of course, so I can just go ahead and tune them. If they're not, it's going to take more time. So once I put the rim on with the lugs, I just start tightening, getting them fit inside of the slot for it, and I just tighten it with my finger until you start to feel it get a little tight. Then I'll use my drum key. Again, please feel free to like, subscribe, share this to other drummers who may need to or may want to know how to go ahead and tune drums. Again, this is not the only way, but this is the most efficient way that I've learned to go ahead and do this. So now once I start and I get the lugs in, I press a little firmly in the middle of the drum, or the snare drum or tom or whatever, but I press firmly with my palm face down, and therefore I'm going to get an even tightening as I, of course, tune the lugs. So I make sure with my fingers, again for the sake of time, just go around quickly, make sure that the lugs are in the slot. Now I go ahead and I tighten with the drum key. After I've used my fingers to tighten, I use the drum key and do about 3 to 4 full turns using the drum key. Then I move opposite the lug I just tuned, so it's almost like a semi-Z formation if you think of that. So I tighten the lug in front of me, and then I move straight across to the other lug. I then move to the right of the lug I just tuned, and then straight across to the other lug. So it's basically back and forth. Again, using 3 to 4 full turns of the drum key. And I want to do that because at least I know I have done an even turning with the drum key before I even use the snare drum. So I go around and do all that. Now again, pressing firmly on the snare drum head, I can feel that it's pretty firm. So I just tighten it again, drummer's preference. Now, I personally like my snare drum to sound like a marching band snare drum. So you get that good pop. You may call it like a gunshot sound if you think of that. But I really like that punchy pop sound, so to speak. So I'll just go around and either with the drum key or a drumstick, and I'll now test around each lug for the tone. You need a good ear for this, let you hear what it sounds like. But you definitely want to tune to what you want it to be after you've turned about 3 to 4 full turns. At least you know that it's even. Now you can, like I said, you can get a drum tuning thing that I've seen in stores, and you can just press it and it'll measure and it'll tell you where your I guess tone, I won't say tone, but if you have an even turned lug and nothing is off centered or whatever. So again, I'll just press on the drum head. I'll let you see here. I'll press on it and notice it's barely going in if I press on it. I kind of like that. I know it's pretty tight, not too loose. And of course, I'll let you hear what it sounds like. Just going around, tapping around, making sure it's about the same tone. If anything's off, I'll just tighten it or loosen it. And of course, that's what it sounds like. So that's pretty much how I would tune this. And I could, of course, replace it with a dampening ring. I usually don't use the rings anymore because my drumstick can get caught in it and go flying in the air. I'll use more of like moon gels or so, but again, drummer's preference. But I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. Remember to like and subscribe, comment, share it, and be notified for future videos. Take care.